Welcome to LUTV News InFocus, where we feature interesting topics on campus, in the community, and in the world of culture. I am Taylor Justice. Marion Phillips III is the Senior Vice President for Community Development at the U.S. News and World Report. He is here with us to talk about his college years, professional success, and why he is here at Lamar University. Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Taylor. I'm great. It's great to be back on campus.
Good morning to you, too. Speaking of being back on campus, as we know, you are a Lamar alum. Jumbling my words this morning. What is it like to be back on campus today after all this time?
I was here last year I came by campus. I was in town for something else. It is always a sense of pride, just a prideful moment to be able to drive around and see what was and what's no longer, see what was and what is risen. It is a gorgeous campus and beaming with pride, just beaming, be back on this campus. Just nothing like being an LU Cardinal.
You are here to speak with students today. What are you hoping to speak about?
I just want to tell my story, and I think the best part of my story, since I can judge my own story or rank my own story, I owe it to you. Every single student I'm going to meet today and remember half their names and forget the other half. I owe it to every single student. I owe it to every professor. This school impacted me in so many ways. And so for me to be back, it's required. This is what I believe is socially responsible. I believe that everybody needs to help someone else. And there's no other place to help but where you're from, where you were born, where you grew up. And Lamar, I wasn't born here, but I am an LU Cardinal and I owe it to this place to come back.
Your story seems to have many chapters. You've accomplished so much since graduating here from Lamar. Would you say that Lamar helped you with your successes that you see now?
Lamar helped me with my successes because it taught me how to mature. I think one of the difficulties of going to college, we think we're there to get a degree. We're there to become an adult, and you get a degree. And the opportunities and the lessons I've learned here, I learned how to be more determined and more focused and more dogged. Dr. DeWitt Holland was the chair of communications at the time. And I walked into class, it was a Tuesday, Thursday, it was argumentation was the class. And he grabs me on the way in. And Dr. Holland was at least 6'4". He grabs me and says, either do the paper over or take your grade. I said, what's my grade? F. I'm thinking, Dr. Holland, this is me. I'm not an F student. I said, how did I get an F? Because I know you can do better, and I'm sure you wrote this paper last night. Now, this is before computers. And I was like, okay, I'll do the paper over. That taught me that someone cared, taught me someone pushed me. And so that's when I understood you only can be so lazy to get through. And that's not an option. And now my mantra through grad school and through everything else, I'm not dumb enough to make below a B. Because you have to be just always driven and determined. And that's what Lamar did for me. It taught me how to be an adult. It didn't, a degree I could easily get it. But to grow up, to learn different cultures, to learn different people. So no, it was great. For me, it was great.
Can you tell me a bit about your current occupation?
U.S. News and World Report is a 90-year-old organization, a media company. It was one of the three primary public policy magazines, Time Magazine, Newsweek, and U.S. News and World Report. About 14, 15 years ago, we went completely digital. And so now we really are broken into verticals. We have multiple streams of income. And the goal is, how do we still produce news and consumer advice? And our motto is very simple: helping people make life decisions. And so I'm having the opportunity to really expand into thought leadership. How do we take journalism to a different level and highlight issues of equity, highlight issues of health, highlight issues of education? And so it's fun. I get to think of new ideas every day and how to turn them into a product or a program.
What would you say are your greatest achievements since working for where you work now?
I've only been there 2 years, 2 years almost to the day of into this month. I would say it was the State of Equity Conference we held in New York. I think it was also Evolution of Leadership for Education, 2 thought leadership programs we produced. I think it's cultural conversations. These are conversations that we do for the company where we bring people in on Black history, women's history, Pride Month. We look at Disability Awareness Month, Hispanic Awareness, Veterans Day. How do we highlight all of these cultures so that we don't look at each other differently but appreciate what we all brought to the table? And we're able to get speakers from all over the country to come speak for our company. I think it speaks to how important this is to the company. Our CEO and president generally never miss. They actually, one of them always does the introduction. We close for 90 minutes to have this and lunch to continue the conversation. And so that, I think, is the piece that makes me feel the best, the most pleased at my job right now after 2 years.
Are there any plans what are the future plans to continue these conversations? Is there anything that has not been spoken about that will be covered soon that we can look forward to?
I will say, I will take a cheap plug, usnews.com, go under US News Live, and we're going to post all those articles, all those stories, all those interviews. And what's going to happen, we're going to continue it. People like it. I think it's important, but after we have them for our company, our team, our staff, then we produce them and post them on our website.
What do you hope to see for future endeavors within this occupation?
I really hope we get thought leadership into a space where people understand the state of equity in America really is not about financial equity. It's about being fair. It's about the Constitution, we the people, the preamble, we the people. It's really about how do we all get together. Looking at it from educational opportunity as a woman, as a Black, as a Hispanic, but also from a rural community. Rural students struggle as much as urban students. Health, loans, economy. And when we can help everyone understand their worth, their opportunities, their goals, we become a better society, a better country.
All right, well, that is all the time we have, but I thank you so much for joining with me today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
I'm looking forward, and I think we just say go LU, right?
Go LU, go Cardinals. Thank you for watching. To see more content from LUTV News, follow us on X and like us on Facebook.